So yeah, after that, my name is Maischein, and I'm very happy to tell you today a bit about a small project of mine, building a search engine in Perl. What do I want to show you today? Well, first of all, I want to tell you a bit about my motivation. Why did I try to write a search engine in Perl? And then I will show you a bit, or tell you a bit about what I think makes up a search engine. And we'll also look at the actual ingredients that you need to build your own search engine. I will try to do a live demo. We'll see how that goes. And at the end, I will also tell you a bit about where I am at currently and what future improvements I hope to make in the next days or weeks or whatever. Yeah. A short bit about who I am. My name is Max Maischein. I am a member of the Frankfurt Perlmongers and program in Perl since 2000. For my employer, I work since 2013 on various financial regulatory regimes like EMIR, EINSIG, MiFID, weird regulatory stuff. Has little to do with Perl. And now since 2016, I moved into a group named Smart Data, and I mostly run now a data warehouse used for the reporting to the financial regulatory regimes. That's what I do. And this also brings me to my motivation already, because there's far too much information. Far too much different information, and I don't have the time to properly organize this information, like put it in categories or whatever. I get lots of mails at home and at work. Some are with PDFs and some are with Excel sheets at work, and I download maybe some files at home, which I think might be useful someday or might be useful now, but then I forget about them and they stay in my download folder. So I want the computer to help me and to do some information organizing for me, but I do want it done differently from Google, because I want my data to stay local to me. I don't want to upload everything to the cloud, into Google Drive or whatever, so that Google can index the data for me. I want to have my information for me, because I don't want to become part of a result set where somebody looks for all the people who have the anarchist cookbook and maybe some information about derivative trades, and I turn up. I don't like that. So I've looked into various existing approaches about local search, and there was a time, or maybe it's still available, Google used to sell you a computer that you could put in your rack. It had 1 unit of height, and you turn it on, it starts spidering your intranet and all your Windows shares and gives you a Google search except in your intranet, which I couldn't really find out if Google still sells it, but the last I remembered is that the price was like 20,000 euro, which is not that much for a company, but a little much for me at home, and I don't have a 19-inch rack, so no. There is Windows Desktop Search with Cortana, but it only indexes Windows shares and not really mail, because I don't use Outlook. And nowadays Cortana also shares all my searches back with the mothership, so I'm not happy with using the Windows Desktop Search either. For the Mac, there would be Siri, and I think Sherlock is also some kind of desktop search, but I don't use a Mac. And for Linux and Ubuntu, there was at one time a software named Beagle that seemed to be some kind of desktop search, but they stopped developing it in 2009, so I don't know why. I didn't find any big drama or cease and desist letters or whatever, so yeah, I don't know why they stopped doing a desktop search. So yeah, the thing that remained for me was to do it myself, and to be honest, I wouldn't be here and giving a talk about it if I didn't had to do it with something myself. So yeah, I've said it already, I'm somewhat strapped for time, so I wanted to implement a desktop search, but reuse as many components as possible while still not sharing all my data with Google. Yeah, to me, a desktop search consists of basically 3 building blocks: the crawler that finds documents linked from other documents and extracts the text, imports the text into some storage, and also extracts some metadata like the text language, the URL where the document was found, and maybe the creation timestamp, or for mails the sender or recipient, or some stuff. And yes, all that information goes into the search index, which is not really a program, but more an optimized data structure that is optimized for quick retrieval. That is, I can give it some words and it finds as quickly as possible the documents that are relevant to those words. And ideally, it also does stemming. That is, it finds programs and programming when I search for program, for example. And it would also be great if it also supports synonyms. So if I search for MMSR, which is money market, statistics, regulatory, whatever, it also finds Geldmarktstatistik, which is the German word for MMSR. And to then query the search index, I need something like www.google.com, a simple search form where I can type in a query consisting of 1 or more words, and it gives me a quick response, maybe also ranked in some way, and ideally it also shows me directly a preview of the document, so that I can scan from the search results page already which document might be the one that I want. Now, which parts did I use? Well, the crawler is somewhat the most programming intensive, I think, and for crawling I use Perl, more or less file find, together with Apache Tika, which is a Java program, Tika, that does extraction from PDF files and Excel files and Word files and, well, a lot of file formats, and gives me some more or less structured HTML for them. So that makes, indexing the text very easy to me. The search index is implemented simply by using Elasticsearch and the Elasticsearch module, which talks to Elasticsearch, and Elasticsearch itself does all the hard lifting of maintaining synonyms, doing the stemming. It could even be a cloud thing or a distributed engine, which I don't need because I only have one laptop, so I don't want to run it on a cluster of of machines to maintain my search indices. But it does far more than I need, but it does what I need, so I will use it. And at the front end, the search form, it's not a really thin Dancer application, but it's not rocket science either. A CGI script could do the same. You take in a query, You give it to Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch gives you the results back. You show them in an HTML page. You give that HTML page to the user. And yeah, that's basically it, with some more nice links like downloading the document or visiting the document in the file system. So yeah, it's not really hard programming. Okay, so now I've told you about the structure and what I think it should do. So now I'm going to go to the local live demo. It's already here, and let me find the correct console. Ooh. Yeah. And I'll start the importer. Well, for test data, I'm using the calendars of the YAPC because that's conveniently available test data which I import. And I'll also start the file system import, which goes to some selected directories of my home directory and imports them into the search engine. And can everybody, it looks fairly readable from below here, behind in the back. Should I make it larger? No? Cool. So if I now search for MMSR, it's already showing me that it found one document with the title MMSR, and this is the highly unstyled search results. I'm not a designer and I haven't spent the time stripping the CSS from Google, so those are the results. And if I think this were an interesting document, I can click on it and get the HTML converted document. And I could also directly go to the original Klingon by clicking another link and looking at the PDF. Also, for example, if I search for test, we see the stemming in action because it also finds words like tested, testing, and also make test in my documents. So it's nice to not need to be as exact when looking for the words or thinking of the words that I need or that I want to find. Also, for example, if I search for Elasticsearch, I find some talks in the calendar. Oops, sorry. Go back. And somewhere down here, there's also a mail that I indexed. And if I click on that, my browser asks me whether I want to directly open this mail in my mail client, which I haven't started. So this will need some time. There it is. So I can directly link from my browser to my mail client and open mails directly from my search results, which I find highly convenient. So that's what I can currently do. As long as I get enough documents into my search store, I can search them all and find them and open them in the relevant programs if the browser is not the program I want to use. And why? There is it. For some reason it doesn't want to go full screen, sorry. So now what do I index of the documents. I need to record the URL where I did find the document so I can update it later when I've improved my crawlers. So I can update it then in my search index. I'm recording the title of the document for auto-suggestion. And yeah, I'm trying to create an HTML document for every document I find. So for the PDFs, I convert them to HTML. For MP3 files, I make up some HTML with the artist title and stuff. And later for images, I think I will try to create a thumbnail. But yeah, I haven't done any image import yet. I also try to find the author of the document and record it, so I can filter, for example, mails by the author. And currently I'm also recording whether it is a file on disk or a mail or an iCalendar entry. Yeah, these are the most important attributes I keep about all the documents I encounter. Yeah, that's basically the easy part of the search engine, and the part that takes up, well, the part that is trivial but takes up lots and lots of time is writing the crawlers that go through all my data that I have and push it into the search engine. So yeah, I want to crawl the file system. Yeah, for PDF files, text files, Perl code, and whatever. And I'm using the Apache TCAR to get all this stuff into a nice format. I'm crawling my inboxes to also get search results for my emails. I'm crawling iCalendar feeds to maybe later do something like Google Now, so that my search box also tells me which upcoming dates I have, or maybe tells me relevant information like my flight number or something like that. And I've also started a bit of an HTTP crawler, mostly with the idea that it would be cool to directly crawl a Pleck application without even going through HTTP. So I can use my module to instantly add a search box powered by Elasticsearch to basically any Pleck application. But yeah, so far I'm content with having my own personal search bar and haven't added it to other applications yet. Okay, I started out by trying to be somewhat like Google, but not scary mothership, all-encompassing lifestyle like Google. Now, with Elasticsearch, I can return interesting documents, but Google does more. Google started out using the ranking algorithm, which also finds Hubpages, that is, pages that don't contain interesting information themselves, but contain lots and lots of links to pages with interesting information. So Google might find a page about the best XML modules even if you search for XML Twig, for example. Even though that page itself the hub page only mentions XML Twig once, and the XML Twig documentation has much more mentions of XML Twig. So yeah, those hub pages are a blind spot of my approach, but I think that's not a problem, because on my computers, I'd like to think that every document on my computer is somewhat relevant to me. So I'm okay with not needing some pointer pages that show me all my relevant documents, because all my relevant documents are already somewhere on my machine. So I want to index all documents on my machine, and I am happy with not needing hub pages that have more information. The other work is in cleaning up the HTML and delivering it to the user, that is me. And I'm a bit better there than Google, at least in some parts. I can render the PDF as HTML. Google also does the preview rendering for PDFs. I can directly link my mail into Thunderbird. I think if you use Gmail, you can also have something like that, open Gmail from a browser link and directly go to the appropriate mail. But I don't really use Gmail except for my Android phone as the Play Store registration thing. So I don't know, but if you are using Gmail and know how to open a mail by its mail ID from the browser, I'm very happy to accept pull requests. And oh yeah, I didn't show you this one. I happen to have music on my computer, and the nice thing is it's local and I can directly play music. I think, well, yeah, you could hear some CC licensed music maybe, but yeah, it should play, but it doesn't play, but I don't really care. Huh? No, it won't play, but you wouldn't hear it anyway. It's some CC licensed music, so I'm free to play it here. But yeah, that is the one real advantage to me. I can access all my local content and I don't need to worry about it like Google does. Google could never show me images from a movie or parts of an MP3 stream because they don't have the licenses to this content. I have the license to this content on my machine, so I can do direct links to MP3s, MP3 playlists, and movies and movie quotes. So yeah, that makes me happy because I can access my content the way I like. Now, what do I hope to achieve in the next few releases? I want to improve the extraction from online content. Ideally, I want to spider and download my complete browser history from the web again and also import it into my search index so I can find old pages again if I remember, I don't know what, some keywords. And yeah, I think there must have been a page that was interesting. I want to be able to revisit that without going to the Internet Archive. I really want to write more extractors, like extractors that extract the subtitles from movies so I can search for a movie quote and directly link to the place in the movie where that quote is spoken. And I also want to do a meta search, that is my front end talks to multiple Elasticsearch backends. For example, when my notebook is in my home network, I have an Elasticsearch instance on my server at home, and I also want to query that server there, which indexes the documents on my server. And yeah, if you want to run your own search engine, it's fairly easy. You need to download and, well, copy Apache TCAR and Elasticsearch from these URLs and install, what's the name, Dancer search app from CPAN. And yeah, that's basically it. And I'm already done. So thank you for your attention. Do you have remarks or questions? Yes? Do I miss not having did you mean, that is spelling correction? Yes, I do miss it, but Elasticsearch also has some kind of spelling correction in the sense that you can do a filter named, well, something like Levenstein distance, which can correct for mistyped or swapped letters. which is not as comfortable as Google, because Google can even complete really distant words because they are usually used together. But yeah, a tiny amount of spelling correction could be provided by Elasticsearch, and once I get around to this, I will also implement it. So yeah, I've not thought about it much because Elasticsearch provides something close enough, I think. More questions? Yes? Do I use the Elasticsearch attachments plugin? No, I don't use it yet because I haven't understood what it really is for. Because what I think it is for storing the original file one more time in Elasticsearch. And I have the original data already on disk or in my mail server or wherever, so I'm not using Elasticsearch as my primary data store. I'm happy with, well, not constantly, but currently I'm not really unhappy with wiping my Elasticsearch instance and creating all the data again from a fresh spidering. And yeah, personally, I don't feel safe in using Elasticsearch as a primary data store because I've read some articles on the internet, so it must be true. Yeah, but no, I don't use any Elasticsearch plugins, to be honest, because I found them to be more work to understand them, to compile the proper Java stuff, to pull in all the libraries that Java needs, instead of writing it in Perl, which is the same thing, but I know how Perl works and how to do things in Perl. Yeah, one more question, yes.
Can it also index the page of the PDF, and then can you skip to the actual page of the PDF where you found the...
Yeah, the question is, can it also index the pages of the PDF, and can I jump to a specific page of a search result? No, because I haven't found out how to make a browser skip to a specific page in the PDF. So yeah, either I convert the PDFs into a really faithful representation in HTML and then do some smart linking or JavaScript, or I find out how, I don't know, PDF.js handles deep linking into PDFs, but I think I spent a day of looking at it and I did not find a proper way to do deep linking into a PDF, which is sad because I'd really, really like to link into PDFs. Yeah, so one last question. Yes? How do I handle deleted or renamed documents? Currently, I store, at least for files, I use the file name as the unique identifier. So when crawling again, I either have a stale search result or I have to delete it. For updating, it's no problem. For renamed documents, that is delete and create as different name. For mails, I use the mail ID, so there I can move mails between different folders without problems. But yeah, exactly, duplicate detection and yeah, a more resilient way of identifying files would be nice, but yeah, there's so many things to do. I'm happy with my low-level approach of not thinking about it too much. Okay, thank you very much.